Bum 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 bum. Welcome to the brewery. I talk a lot about other beers that I've been drinking. I talk some Makgeolli breweries, but let's talk about how I'm doing here in the home brewery. So, this is the second beer that I've made. This is a single hop IPA. I used some of the grains you see down here. Pretty straightforward. I used a lot of the same malts that I used in the Nelson one that I talked about, my first one that I did by myself. So this is a Chinook IPA. Chinook hops, I use it for the bittering, I use it for the flavoring, the aroma, everything. So, let's take a little glass, and I also have some pizza. A long time ago, I used to do a lot of spicy food videos, so we're gonna kind of have my beer with the 1989's pizza, which is not a big chain, but there's a few. They have a ghost pepper pizza, so kind of a return to form, me back with my spicy food. Yeah, good sound. And let's give this a little pour. I also dry hopped this. I had a few bottles that I filtered out of the fermenter that were just the 3 stages of the boil, and then I dumped 45 grams into the fermenter after that. So this is the dry hopped one. So Chinook hops, Chinook hops are pretty cool. Lots of very bizarre flavors: elderflower, basil, grapefruit. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So I was kind of excited just to use one hop specifically for one IPA. Yeah, pretty subtle. There's a bit of grapefruit in there, but it's more of like the kind of general citrus theme. I used the Kveik yeast too, which apparently brings out more citrus. It's fairly neutral. It's fairly neutral, but it does bring out a bit of citrus. So, which for an IPA is not the end of the world. You're probably going to get some of those flavors anyway from the hops. So, I've had a few of these over, like, you know, when I first bottled it, and then there's a very punchy, citrusy note to this. And then right afterwards, oh, it almost turns into like a... I'm wondering if that's like a DMS. It's not terrible, but it does have a bit of that... It's like really vegetable-y. They say you're looking for canned corn. Ooh, on the end there, it sparks back up a bit. And it's a bit soury tartness. It's a bit unpleasant. It's not terrible, but I don't love it. So a little disappointing. With the Kveik yeast, you're supposed to ferment it at 30 to 40 degrees anyway. That's why I got it, because it was going to be hot. I still don't have temperature control yet. I can put it in this room next to me, the office, and I could run the air conditioner at 20, which is not a perfect system, but it's going to keep it a hell of a lot cooler if I just keep it in that room for a week. With the Kveik yeast, I said, fuck it. It was probably even a little lower than 30, so I'm hoping it didn't create any DMS in my beer. But, I don't know, we'll let it age out a bit more. And yeah, let's do this. I had this for lunch. If you have one of these pizza places, 1989 pizza, it's actually pretty kickin' spicy. The second most spicy pizza I've had in Korea. Hi, Tom. Back when Tom used to do the spicy pizza challenge, I should have filmed that. I'm so stupid. I was too worried about impressing my girlfriend and getting the mission done to think of recording it, but... Yeah, right away. And it creeps up, but it's like a pretty high ramp there. Yeah, it's not deathly spicy, and plus I can handle my spice, right? But as far as commercial pizzas go that you can just get delivered to your door, it's pretty damn spicy for that kind of expectation of, you know, mainstream pizza place delivers to your door. We're in Cheonan, for God's sakes. We're not in some weird restaurant in Hongdae or something, so... Pizza and beer. Is there any greater combo? you'd be hard pressed. You'd be hard pressed. Even burgers and beer aren't as good a combo as pizza and beer. Amazing. Anyway, I'm still tinkering around with the beer setup here. Again, Jason, hi, you made fun of me for brewing in a bucket, but without spending $800 on a fucking stainless steel one, that would cost more than the entire setup combined. So one day I might get there, but for my purposes now, getting recipes that taste good is the main thing. And temperature control is the next hurdle. It goes down nice. I just, with the Chinook hops, I was expecting like this smorgasbord of different flavors. Give me a sec. Alright, so this is an app I have that explains hops. And I was like, oh, Chinook sounds interesting. Chinook is a popular Canadian word too on the West Coast, so I thought, fuck it, why not? I called the beer the Sudbury Saturday night. Canadians watching will get that one. So the Chinook hops, mild to medium heavy, spicy, piney, and grapefruity. So dig this for like aromas. Basil, elderberry, fennel, grapefruit, lychee, pine, red berries, spicy. So I thought, well, God, I have to make a single hop like that. That sounds ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm not disappointed, but I mean, as far as IPAs go, maybe if I used the West Coast IPA yeast, I mean, of course I would get different results than a Kvike, but I wanted the Kvike to kind of just act as a neutral yeast, more neutral, and kind of just let the Chinook come through. I have a lot more hops. I have 10 kilograms of Gunsan malt coming. That was in my Quebec's video from the beer festival. I was talking to them. The mouth feels nice. It has a nice kind of little thickness, not syrupy, but it is quite voluminous. That could be because I'm liberal with the sugar in the secondary fermentation. After fucking up the first beer with using too little, being a little more cautious now. So the carbonation in these things is quite punchy. Yeah. Grapefruit and pine. The pine's coming through a bit. But those are the main ones. But yeah, I keep reading those on like elderflower and basil and stuff. Not quite getting that. But yeah, it is kind of the stereotypical pine grapefruit IPA. Anyway, not a failure by any means. But again, keeping on going and making more beers and getting my processes right, and then upgrading a little bit of the equipment as I go. Again, the fermenter, keeping oxygen out, that's an important one, which I'm not doing. Temperature control, that's very precise. I'm not doing that either. Again, like I said, I use the Kvike for that very reason. You can kind of get away with more temperature wang doodles and manipulation from outside. Yeah, so cheers. I'm going to send some of these out to some of you lucky people. You know who you are. But yeah, cheers, and I'll see you again. This pizza's fucking spicy. For, again, commercial pizza.